Good morning, everyone. Just want to first off say thank you for everyone to taking time out of your day to join us on the webinar today. If I can get my computer to work, life would be great. For first of all, just want to say thank you. We got a really nice presentation put together today. We're lucky to have a couple people from Athene joining us. So we've got Skylar with us, who is our internal rep, doing a lot of the helping get business pushed through. Anytime we need help with case design or just anything, he's our right hand man down at Athene. And we also have Grant Smith, who is our regional VP with Athene, on with us as well. So you got a really nice treat today to hear from both of them. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Laura Johnson. I've been with IAMS now, seems like half my life. I did about 8 years on the admin side, when and then been on the sales team now for just over 6 years now. So been with the company a long time. Love the company, family built company. Um, Working on the annuity side. Happy to help you with any case design, any problems that come up. I do run the red team here at IAMS. So happy to help with anything I can, whether it be a service issue, whether it be a marketing question or suitability question. Just don't hesitate to give me a shout. So with that, you're only going to have to listen to me for a couple minutes and I'll hand it over to Grant and Skylar. They're going to be talking about the number one selling FIA in the country, the Agility product. Really excited. They just upped the bonus on that. You'll hear all the good details on that. It's one of my favorite products. I call it my Swiss Army knife for a reason. It's kind of your jack of all trades product. They're also going to introduce that Athene's maiden big entry into the partial Roth conversion space as well. So really excited about that. Going to kind of talk about the way Athene handles those. And so you'll have a really good presentation today. Along the way, you're going to see a couple poll questions pop up. The quicker you answer those, the quicker we get to move forward. So with that, I'm just going to start off just talking about a few incentive things we've got available here at IAMS. First thing I love to talk about is our new producer bonus. This is just a really great opportunity for when you come on board with IAMS to get some assistance on some marketing. So if you're new to IAMS, just joined, or maybe considering coming on board, you've got 6 months to qualify for this. As you can see on the screen, there's some really great opportunities to get some assistance with marketing. So 6 months to qualify, $100,000 annuity, indexed annuity could get you $750 in your pocket, 1,500 postcard mailing. Let's just say in the first 6 months you do 750,000. We'd actually pay for 8 recorded, radio shows, along with the coaching that comes with that. We'd pay for 2 seminars. We could pay for a social media campaign. So the goal with this is to say, first of all, thank you, but then to really partner with you and show you that IAMS is here to be your partner. Mutually beneficial relationship. If we can help you grow your business right out the gate, then we're growing ours as well. So if you're curious where you stand, curious if you hit it when you did join IAMS, just give your marketer, myself, a call, and I'll be happy to get with accounting and see where you ended up. Once you get done with your new producer bonus, we do move you into a marketing reimbursement plan. Really great opportunity, just again, for us to partner with you along the way. So every 100,000 of annuity premium, index annuity premium, we're just going to put $100 in an account for you. And it's going to continue to build until you're ready to use it. Single premium life, every 100,000 would put $200 in your account. And for life target, every 10,000 of life target premium equals $200. And so that's just continually building. I actually had an agent a couple of weeks ago say, "Hey, I don't think I've ever used marketing dollars." She had almost $4,000 in her account ready to go. So just a really great way to, whether it be running a seminar, or you need a new computer, or you want to buy some leads. It's just a great way for us to kick back some money for you to help cover those costs. We also do have a referred producer program. If you've been in business any length of time in this business, it's a referral business for you guys, and it is just as much for us as well. So if you're happy with the service you're getting at IAMS, whether it be new business, marketing, whatever, and you think there's another colleague of yours that might benefit from our services, and you want to refer them over, maybe without taking on the responsibility of a hierarchy, is a great way to put some cash back in your pocket. So when that agent gets appointed, $50. When they write their first piece of business, $100. And then as you can see the breakdown there, you're going to get a little bit of an override on all the business they write. Now, these checks do go out quarterly. I will mention that. So they're not paid out on a daily basis. Send them out four times a year. But just again, a way for us to say thank you for the referral and put some money back in your pocket without you having to take on that liability. As part of our name, insurance agency marketing service, and I truly believe, I've been with the company long enough for me to truly believe that we are on the top end of the service, and that's from answering the phone every time you call. If you call into IAMS right now, someone's going to answer the phone probably within 1 to 2 rings. You're going to talk to people every time you call. You won't ever be able to leave a voicemail. We want to be able to answer your questions when you call. So if you're calling for me and I've got 7 other people in line to call back, you're not waiting. You can get your answer right away. And our new business team is off the charts. They are awesome. We call it submission to commission support. Amber and her team have a great system, and same on the life side. And, when you write an app, we're going to be scrubbing that app, whether it's ordering the pyramid on the life side, or hey, I don't think this is really going to be suitable, or giving you some feedback, or hey, forgot to check this box, cross this T, dot that I. We can kind of help you through that. Hey, you used the wrong forms. If we can help you get that stuff corrected before it gets to the home office, we're going to save many and many trips back to the client. We're doing all your quotes, all your case design for you, making sure you're compliant with these carriers before you're writing them. And then we are insurance bay as well. So we do have paperless contracting once you're in the system. Really easy to get appointed with all the carriers at the time you need it without having to do more paperwork. We're really excited to be partnered with Firelight. I'm going to kind of slide past this slide and show you this one. So we do now have a single sign-on access on our website where you have access to Firelight, iGo eApp, and Connect for Medicare. So whether you're writing life, annuity, or Medicare, you have access to do all the applications in one spot on our website. So as you can see, we've got majority of the carriers have been added. There are a few new ones that have been added on to it as well. So constantly, as new carriers are bringing out products, we're getting those added onto Firelight as well. Joy of doing it on Firelight through our website versus a carrier is it still comes to our office for that scrubbing. So we're able to call and verify your trainings, things like that. So if you have trouble getting to it, or if you haven't registered for it, I encourage you to go out to our website. It's under the eApp Solutions section. If you haven't used it yet, you will have to do the registration first. Just think you got to verify your name and your email address, put someone's name who referred you over to it. And then because we got to go set you up on the backside. But again, we've seen a huge increase in what's being done electronically thanks to this lovely pandemic. And it's actually a very slick program. So if you have any questions or run into any trouble along the way, reach out to Amber and her team, or if you want to give me a call, I'm happy to assist as well. If you haven't talked with anyone in our creative department, I would encourage you to do so. They're here for you all. So we've got a full service creative team here in-house doing anything from print design, newsletters, postcards. You want a logo designed, or maybe you want your website redone. Looking to do a Facebook marketing ad campaign. Maybe trying to do some digital marketing as far as email marketing and funneling email system. I mean, all that stuff we can do internally. And those marketing dollars you're earning can be used for these services as well. I always tell people that the creatives team, there's no cost for what they do as long as you're doing your business with IAMS. So if you're writing your business at IAMS, you have full access to this department. And they do a great job for our advisors. They do have their own website as well. It's imscreative.com. You can go out there and check out sample websites, different marketing pieces they've put together. Here is our website, www.imsinc.com. I'm not going to go through the website. Don't worry, I won't bore you, but you got access to a lot of great tools, annuity rates. You do have access to annuity rate watch through our website. We've got a lot of iPipelines on there, so you can get forms, term quoting, things like that. One of my favorite spots is our sales resource library, though. It is full of client presentations, fact finders, financial calculators. I mean, there's a lot of great tools. It's under the support tab. Click on sales resource library, and there's just a ton of great materials. Lesson in fixed annuities, a lesson in fixed index annuities. Those are all client approved and can be fully customized with your name, your logo on it as well. So encourage you to check that out. We do give our agents, if you are active in writing business with us, you do have access to Retirement Analyzer, really nice software, full comprehensive software that can go through, show your clients where they're going to have shortfalls, things like that. If you check out our webinar calendar, there's probably one scheduled about every other month where they take a deep dive into this. If you're interested in this, just call into the office and ask for Marcus. He does handle all the Retirement Analyzer stuff. So reach out to him. Again, if you got to be contracted and doing business with us, then you do have access to it. For those of you who don't know, we do have an RIA in this office as well. A couple of years ago, when we had that lovely DOL looming over us, Charles and Steve said it was time. So we do have an RIA. It's been in business now for 4 years or so, but they do a great job for our advisors. Really built it with the insurance producer in mind. You go into a house and a client's got 500,000. Well, Athene says they're only going to take 300,000. What are you going to do with that other 200,000? Because if you're not doing something with it, you're just giving it to the next advisor who comes in. So we really think it's important to have this outlet. What I will mention in this, I won't bore you too much. Whether you're 65, a CFP, you can get registered with us. But we do have a client program as well. So Zach Regan, our office, handles that. Where maybe you just getting to the end of your career, maybe don't want to take the time to study for this test. We do have a referral program. If you reach out to Zach, say, hey, I got a client with this situation, he'll be happy to reach out to that client, handle that for you. And that just keeps it in-house for you. You're not at risk of losing that to another advisor. So whether you're an advisor yourself or maybe just looking to maybe refer clients over to keep that business, within your realm, go ahead and answer yes to the poll question I'm going to throw up now. All that's going to do is launch a call from the wealth management team, check probably Duncan reaching out, seeing what questions he can get answered. The good news with that client program is depending on the state you're in, there is a good chance we can pay you a portion of the fee that's charged to that client as well. So got a lot of agents utilizing that program, especially when they're studying as well, because we'll take on those clients, handle them for you. And when you pass your exam, we'll sign them all over to you. So really great opportunity there as well. So if you're interested in either side of those programs, just go ahead and answer yes, and the guys will be reaching out to you. Someone did put in a question and said yes. Just go ahead and answer yes on your screen, and that will prompt that phone call. Alrighty. I'm going to go talk about exciting things now, and then you're done hearing about me. Okay, so we're really excited. We just, we've all been stuck at home. Now we're finally out traveling again. So IAMS felt very comfortable launching a top producer summit for 2022. So it is an 18-month qualification. So we're still a year out from the end of the qualification. So you got 12 months still to go, a little over 12 months. $4.5 million gets you and a guest on a Mediterranean cruise. As you can see, we've got some great stops throughout Italy, Greece, Croatia, just a really great trip with top producers. We're really excited about it. We've got a ton of people on pace to make it, but there's plenty of time. So with that, if you're curious where you stand, you should, give the office a call. We can let you know. All your business that you write here is counting. Indexed annuities count dollar for dollar. Fit MIGA business is half a point. All your life target premium, your Medicare business, there's a ratio for it all. So if you have questions, just give your marketer or myself a call. Happy to answer any questions on that. And then we also announced a second trip. This is an Athene specific trip. We appreciate our partnership with Athene. So Athene and IAMS came together and put together a little escape for the top guys that are with Athene production. Qualification started in April and runs through the end of the year. and it takes $2 million to qualify. We're going to be out at the Omni Resort out in Hilton Head Island. So we're really excited about the event. That event will be held in March. So again, $2 million between now and the end of the year. And we're really excited. Great golf courses, great food, and again, great company. So really excited to be partnering with Athene on that as well. Last thing before I hand it over to the guys is we are back to doing live trainings. People have been asking for years, or well, it seems like years, months, when we're going to get back in front of producers. So we are going to be doing a couple, hopefully 2 of these this year still. I'm excited to be partnering with Athene again on one of them at their home office at the end of September, 1st of October timeframe. Um, what this is this isn't annuities 101. It's not life insurance 101. This is in-depth concepts. How can we help you grow your business? So we're going to be talking about tax planning. We're going to be talking about different marketing systems. We're going to help put together a plan with you to help you grow your business. Now, there are production requirements to attend. There's a lot of people who want to go, but these home offices want to, it has to be worth their time as well. So the first one's going to be partnering with Athene. So really focus on Athene business. Would love to have a good group of guys in there, but it's really geared for the person who is looking to grow their business and is active in writing business with IAMS as well. So with the second poll question, I'm just going to launch this. If you're interested in potentially coming to the Academy, spots are limited. And the home office does get a little say-so in who comes. So if you at least answer yes, that'll let us know you're interested. I'll follow up with you and kind of talk with you a little bit about the requirements to attend as well. So with that, I am going to give you guys a second to answer that question and hand things over to Skylar and Grant. And thank you again for joining us, guys. I'm going to switch it over to you, Skylar.
Yeah. Perfect. Laura, thank you so much. Yeah, appreciate that warm introduction. And again, as you heard, everybody, Athene and IAMS are partnering together and launching that special exclusive trip at Hilton Head, which would be a nice way to get out, have some vacation, let your hair down, golf, dine well. It'll be a great trip. So Athene has really been ramping up their rates and products lately. We want to be top of market, not just in accumulation, but income only. And we'll be hitting on that today. But I want to just first off say thank you everybody for joining us today. This exclusive webinar specifically for IAMS, one of our top partners with that we value deeply, deep history with Athene, and they're valued producers underneath them. So for that, I want to say thank you guys for your time. But we also want to be respectful to the agenda today. So what we're going to be highlighting today. First off, you're going to hear from me. My name is Grant Smith. I'm the Regional Vice President with Athene and my internal partner, Skylar Ellerbach. Between the two of us, you have great, incredible resources in addition to IAMS and everybody over there to help ensure you guys have everything you need in hand to ensure that your clients meet their retirement goals and you personally exceed your goals. But today's agenda, I'm going to walk through quickly Athene's story. We've had a lot of positive news going on lately that I'm going to briefly recap on. And then I'm going to transition to a key point and topic for today, partial Roth conversions. We're excited to announce Athene has now officially allowed partial Roth conversions. So that's going to be a great idea and value add concept that you guys can implement in your practices. And then we're going to transition to agility. It's our Swift Army knife play. It was recognized at the Structured Retail Product Conference for Indexed Annuities as Product of the Year in 2019. It's one of the top sellers as a no-fee accumulation, income, and death benefit product available to you at Athene. Skylar will be hitting on that. And we'll end with some Q&A pending the time available. So with that, let's move to the next slide here and let's get this going. I'm excited to share with you guys that Athene officially, as of last month, was upgraded to an A+ rating. So we don't only want to ensure that we have top of market product available to you, but we want to let you know that as you're sharing our story with your clients, that the financial backing is very sound. It's our goal to continue to pursue A+ ratings across the board. But this upgrade came about because of the profitable growth we've experienced over the recent years, especially last year in 2020 during the pandemic. We had a record year, finishing #1 in the IMO space with nearly $8 billion in FIA sales. That was more than, outpaced the number 2 provider by almost $800 million. So that just goes to say thank you so much. People are recognizing the products we have at hand and the value that we can deliver. And Skylar and I and IAMS together want to make sure that you guys have that available to you. But again, Athene has made it a priority, as I said. We want to ensure that our advisors not only have top market products, as I said, but sound financials in place. And this A+ rating gives us that. But now let's look over. Let's move to why Athene now. Well, if you take a look right here, I broke it out so you can see a little bit of what's happening within the last few months. But I want to break it down for you. Why Athene? Well, it's all going to start with our competitive advantage that allows us to hold top rates, but also renewal rate integrity. But our competitive advantage, frankly, is through Apollo. Apollo is now, they were managing our general account, our portfolio. So every premium dollar that comes in, Apollo manages that for us. But we're excited to announce that we're going to be merging with Apollo effective of January of 2022. And this is exciting because right now, the value Apollo delivers to Athene is they're driving our portfolio to record amounts of internal rate of return, which in turn allows us to offer competitive rates to you. But this merger is going to allow us to take advantage of these synergies that we have with Apollo. So we're going to be able to grow faster at a higher level, albeit in a very tactful manner. And having Apollo aboard, as I mentioned, is not just competitive advantage, but they truly give us world-class investment expertise. And I mentioned, that competitive advantage, but let me just break that down for you and simplify what having Apollo aboard really means to Athene and ultimately the products that we have that you're delivering. With Apollo, we have access to investments that no other insurance carrier can access. This immediately gives us excess return, more alpha on our own internal rate of return. As an example, if you just look at a calendar year, January 1st of every single year, where most insurance carriers are starting at 0, we have a 3% bump. We're starting at 3%. We have a head start on everybody in our portfolio returns to hold competitive product. That's through these yields that we're able to capture in these investment opportunities that only Apollo can access for us. So I just want to make sure that everybody knew the importance of Apollo coming on board, and it's truly going to be remarkable to continue our story and growth, and so that you guys look like heroes as you're presenting in front of your clients and helping them meet their financial goals. So ultimately, what you're going to get is renewal rate integrity with Athene, the most competitive products in the marketplace, and A+ ratings, so you can have confidence positioning Athene to your clients. But as we position and move into the next component of this presentation, I just want to stop here and let's take a look at why we're here today, right? So today's conversation, really we're going to focus around 3 goals listed right here. We're going to identify the concerns clients are facing right now as they approach retirement or are in retirement and wanting to better their retirement future and consider the retirement paycheck through an Agility index annuity. Secondly, we're going to look at how the most often used income strategies address these concerns, like the Agility, and where they may fall short. And additionally, we're going to also discuss how fixed and index annuities can be part of the income strategy to help mitigate the shortfalls. With the Agility, you're going to get 3 things I often tell clients, right? A 0 floor. Most folks just don't want to lose money, especially as in Tom Hagnan's words, in their go-go years, no-go years, and slow-go years in retirement. Most folks just don't want to lose 1 penny of their investment. Well, what if you could tell them, what if I promise you, Mr. or Mrs. Client, you have a 0 floor, you're never going to lose 1 investment dollar for the rest of your life. Uncapped growth potential through Athene's index partners with top banks providing top of market returns, and all at no fees. Get them out of their fees, their 401k, do in-service distributions, put them in a better performing retirement picture. In some cases, some of our indexes can perform at equity-like returns, which is an under promise, over delivery on your end. So that's what we're going to be highlighting today. But now I'm going to pivot into the focal point of today's presentation, and that's going to be why partial Roth conversions. Well, Benjamin Franklin said it best, as you all know. There's 2 things that are guaranteed in life, right? That's going to be death and taxes. We all know that. Well, that's a good headway into partial Roth conversions. Now, if you take a look on this next slide, the question that arises most, in conversations, whether it be with your family over Thanksgiving, taxes may come up. Taxes come up in your client conversations. Will taxes be higher in the future? Ultimately, yes, right? Taxes are currently at an all-time historic low right now. So the chance and ability to leverage partial Roth conversions with Athene are right there at your fingertips. The federal deficit is growing daily. Taxes need to go up ultimately, and Social Security will be having some challenges in the future, which, unfortunately, may affect, Skylar and I's generation or grandkids or even our kids down the road. But there's certainly some concerns that are on the back of your client's minds that we want to address that the partial Roth conversion can help. And also, of course, inherited qualified RAs are highly taxed, and that's an important component. So partial Roth conversions are why we're here today in today's discussion. Now let's look at the next slide. Is there an alternative to escalating taxes? Of course there is. That's going to be partial Roth conversions. And let's take a look at what that looks like. So a few rules. One rule I want to highlight here and some strategies on Roth conversions is convert an IRA assets over to a Roth IRA. That can be done at any time. So the one rule in place, you're going to pay taxes today in a Roth conversion in exchange for tax-free growth, right? So you're going to pay up front in exchange for tax-free growth down the road and tax-free income later on. That minimum hold is 5 years after conversion. And I'll show you an example of some success stories here and how this works. But ultimately, strategies to take a look at: target ages 55 to 72 before they hit that required minimum distribution age. And the ability to convert to Roth IRAs when marginal tax brackets are lower right now. As we know, taxes are likely to go up as we increase our federal deficit. So control your taxes by converting just enough to stay in a lower tax bracket. It doesn't have to be a full conversion, again, because people don't want to pay all that out-of-pocket tax burden. Do the partial conversions. And on this next slide, let's take a look at an example. We put this together, and this is just going to show you an example. A client age 60 years old, or let's say a couple in this case, 60 years old, both retired. They have $2 million sitting in an Athene traditional IRA and index annuity. Well, in this example, they're looking at partial Roth conversion strategies. This couple decided after meeting with you, their financial advisor, that they want to benefit from tax-free income and leverage a better portfolio balance at the time they need to start taking distributions. So how do they do it? Well, they're going to do it through partial Roth conversions. And here's how they do it. Over the next 11 years, they leverage partial Roth conversions from that $2 million IRA, and they moved out in total over 11 years on the bottom right, $676,804. That's when they end up converting over into a Roth IRA. Now let's take a look at what the results of that look like. So here's the results. I broke it out so you can have what it looked like if they maintained their traditional IRA going forward and what it looks like if they did the partial Roth conversion. And you can see that huge difference. So their ending portfolio value at the end of their contract when it came to start taking distributions grew to $6 million, right? From $2 million. That's still a lot of power in an Athene indexed annuity, one of our accumulation index annuities. However, if you look at that second bullet point without the conversion, 0% of that income is going to be tax-free, right? That's unfortunately one of the burdens that being in a qualified plan can put in front of your clients. However, if we take a look at this partial Roth conversion, that ending portfolio value of that $2 million index annuity grew to $6.1 million and change. And because they did partial Roth conversions, 42% of those distributions are going to be tax-free, saving them in costs in retirement. So they can spend that more with their grandkids or to enjoy the finer things in life that they want to do in retirement. But ultimately, and the bigger value here is that's almost $270,000 less in taxes paid from the ages of 60 to 90, that later third of their lifetime. So that's an important component that I want to make sure everybody in this line knows about why partial Roth conversions may or may not make sense, but will be additional value to your clients. So have that conversations as you meet with them in your annual reviews or with prospects. That's a value that Athene can provide you. So and then moving forward here, why Roth conversions, if we take a look at it? Well, simply there's 3 points, right? Tax-free income. Roth conversion is going to allow your clients to keep more of what they worked for throughout their retirement. Athene is driven to do more for you. We're doing that by bringing Roth conversions to your place right now. Partial Roth conversion, that's going to be ultimately your gateway, your pathway to tax-free income. And finally, the last point here is making it easy. Athene has implemented the EAP software, a simple process that's going to allow the partial Roth conversions to be managed in a simplistic way. And simply what we do is we create a child policy underneath that main policy in an alphanumeric. So it's very simple. All those policies stay together in one policy with just a subcategory. And the next slide, if Skylar can move this forward here. Thanks, Skylar. Well, on this slide right here, Athene has put together Roth IRA conversions, our facts, and Q&A. So we have this at your hands, and I'll get this over to Laura, and she can disseminate this out to all of you on the line with us today. We have Q&A that's going to be, the main questions that will come up in conversation, or maybe questions that you have that will address the processes from starting a new application into what happens, and then at distribution. This will be the answer to all of your questions. And at the end, we can certainly do our best to address this Q&A, but want to make sure that you guys will have this available to you in your hands as well. So with this, let's move forward here to the next slide. And I'm going to do a transition here over to Skylar, and who can continue this on for the component of agility. Skylar, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Grant. So as we stated, there's evident value in being able to do partial Roth conversions. What I want to do is position our top selling product, the Agility 7 and 10, 2 different surrender schedules, and then also pivot that conversation based upon the partial Roth conversions. Now, with the Agility product, if you guys are familiar, it is the Swiss Army knife of fixed indexed annuities. It has multiple different features built into the product free of charge. It allows us to mold the necessary goals of the product based upon the financial needs as a client ages. As far as the specific client that you'd be looking at, it's a wide variety. We can look at clients in their 50s who want to position income in their 60s, or potentially a client in their 60s wants to position income in their 70s, or potentially someone who's more on the older end of the spectrum and needs an enhanced death benefit for a legacy play. Again, it accomplishes a lot of goals free of charge built into the product. So as far as if we're looking at the top 10 reasons to sell the Agility 7 or the Agility 10 product, first, you're going to receive a 25% benefit base bonus day one. That is going to be applied to the benefit base. We just recently upped that on June 4th. So any policies that are issued on or after June 4th will receive the 25% benefit base bonus. With the benefit base, it's going to get that initial bonus, but each crediting year, it's going to receive 175% interest stacked. So what that means is for every $1 earned on the accumulated value, the benefit base grows at $1.75. That only allows that benefit base to supercharge and grow for the purpose of turning on an income rider later on, or leaving on to their beneficiary. The third bullet point, payout factors increase each year. So for every year the client defers out their income rider, their payout factor that's attributed to that income paycheck will increase by 10 bips per year. Now we understand that is a deferred income rider, but if the client needs liquidity prior to turning on an income rider, they have 10% free withdrawal starting within the first contract year. 10% free withdrawal, and that is 10% of the initial premium or the prior year's accumulated value, whichever is greater. Along with that, as I stated, it has no fees, no inherent charges. One of the last ones I want to focus on this page is increasing income during the income phase. When a client turns on an income rider, their paycheck has the ability to increase each year or each crediting year dependent upon index performance. What that allows the client to do is address inflation, rising costs of healthcare, long-term care, and Medicare costs. Now let's take a second and look at agility and fixed indexed annuities from a bird's eye view. Any and all strategies must address clients' concerns, needs, wants, and even their objectives. For most clients, they're going to have concerns about outliving their funds. Longevity risk is what that's called. So we provided an income rider to address that. Some of the other concerns are lack of savings, taxes, which we've addressed, being able to optimize the tax efficiency through partial Roth conversions. Healthcare costs. As we know, healthcare, Medicare, inflation is only increasing and will continue to increase. And lastly, and most importantly, is inflation and volatility. That's a huge concern to a lot of clients. What we want to do is be able to mitigate some of those concerns. And ultimately, that's going to lead to better conversations, less headache-inducing conversations that you have to have with these clients. Now, with the Agility product, the goal is to build a benefit base. Again, for the purpose of one, either turning on an income rider after the surrender schedule, or two, leaving on as a legacy play to their beneficiaries. Here is a numerical ideology as far as how we build that benefit base. If a client puts in an initial premium of $100,000, day one, they're going to receive a bonus of 25% to the benefit base. So benefit base is $125,000 day one. Let's assume they're in a 1-year point-to-point with a hypothetical return of 5%. After that first anniversary, the accumulated value grows by that 5%, so it's at $105,000. Now let's compare that to the benefit base growth. Again, it starts out at $125,000, and then we add $8,750. How we calculated the $8,750 is that 5% return, or that $5,000 times 175%. That's going to be that additional supercharged growth to the benefit base. That gets us $8,750. So after the first anniversary, the benefit base is now $28,750 larger than the accumulated value. That's the sweet spot. That's the sizzle of this product, being able to build a strong benefit base for either an income rider or a death benefit later on. Now we've mentioned clients' concerns, rising costs of healthcare, Medicare, long-term care, inflation, being able to create tax-efficient buckets. What we've done is built in a feature within the Agility product that has an earnings index payout. It allows the paycheck, once the income rider is turned on, to potentially increase each crediting year based upon index performance. How that looks numerically is if a client's receiving $10,000 per year in income and the index returns a hypothetical 5% return, the next paycheck is going to be $10,500. That's $500 of additional income they earned based upon the earnings index payout. During the income phase, the benefit base continues to grow at 175% as well. So we're still paying out those income paychecks, but we're allowing that benefit base to still supercharge in the event that they pass away. Beneficiaries are still able to receive a sizable death benefit. Now that death benefit that I spoke of, it's an enhanced death benefit rider built into the product free of charge. What it allows is the beneficiary to take the accumulated value or the death benefit paid in a lump sum, or the benefit base paid out over 5 years. Whichever is greater, they have the choice to be able to choose one or the other. Let's take a look at what that looked like from this slide. So at the bottom, that accumulated value, if the client were to pass away, day 2 of the second contract year, the beneficiary is able to take that $105,000 paid in a lump sum, or they can take the $133,750 paid out over 5 years of 5 equal payments. Now, to give you guys some market intel, most clients are choosing the benefit base paid out over 5 years because, again, it's a much higher dollar amount, so they're receiving more funds. They're also spreading out the tax consequences over 5 years, ultimately not affecting their tax bracket as much as taking a lump sum payment. So we've been able to address 2 concerns with the enhanced death benefit. Now, here are the engines within the product. This is what makes the product run and perform. These are the index options a client can choose from. Now, I want to bring this back to the conversation that Grant had around partial Roth conversions. The ability to pursue partial Roth conversions will create child contracts under the parent contract. What that means is that only further diversifies a client's portfolio, only further allows clients to choose different index options within each of their child policies to pursue higher growth potential. We don't know how these index options will perform moving forward. You know, we don't have a crystal ball. So the ability to diversify among many different contracts is a huge benefit to clients. Along with that, being able to diversify under child contracts will also allow clients to turn on income on a few different contracts, but still defer out a few based upon their needs. So they can split different income riders within those child policies, along with the death benefit. If they wanted to take a lump sum of 1 child contract and then take a payout of 5 for the beneficiary, they're able to do that. It only further diversifies that ideology. Now let's do a quick recap of the Agility product. Again, Agility is the Swiss Army knife of fixed indexed annuities. A ton of different features built into the product free of charge. It allows you to pivot and mold based upon the financial needs of the client as they age, as they near retirement, retire, and while they're in retirement. What it's going to do is first and foremost provide an agile income. It's going to provide income with potential annual increases through that earnings index payout. It's going to provide agile growth. So it's going to provide growth that's protected from loss due to market downturns with 0% floor, as well as a 25% initial bonus and 175% growth to the benefit base. And then agile liquidity. Again, it has a deferred income rider, but it allows 10% free withdrawal starting within the first contract year for the liquidity needs of consumers. It also has income doublers to address confinement, also additional waivers, terminal illness waivers, confinement waivers. So there's a ton of different features built into the product free of charge. Now, what I want to do is address a thought leader within the financial service industry. His name is David McKnight. I strongly urge you guys, if you have not taken a listen to David McKnight or have not read his books, he is a big proponent of fixed indexed annuities, also creating a tax-free income for life, utilizing partial Roth conversions. It'll give step-by-step instructions on how to create a secure retirement plan for your client. This is a phenomenal book, and I highly recommend taking a quick gander at it. Now, I have no financial incentive to position David McKnight. Really, my goal is to help you guys build a great book of business and support your clientele. So again, just want to throw out this little tidbit that this is a phenomenal resource. I take great value in being able to provide this information. So at this point, I want to turn it back over to Grant, and then we'll move into questions and answers.
Great job, Skylar. Thank you so much. And at this point, I just wanted to quickly say thanks again to everybody on this line with us today, and to IAMS. We truly value the partnership, and we look forward to building partnerships and relationships with your distribution for those financial advisors on the line today. So with that, Laura, I'll bring you back into the conversation. If there's any questions that you want to kind of take in, Skylar and I would be happy to address to the best of our ability. So I'll bring you back on the line with to help us out. Thanks, Laura.
Yeah, so there were a couple questions that came in, but a couple of them were a little more in depth that I think we could probably address on a one-on-one basis for them. But what I would mention is maybe go over again just a little bit as we talked about. There's the parent policy and there's going to be a child policy. So one of them had to do with, is a new application required then when you do the conversion, or do we just do the partial conversion form? That was one thing that someone did mention.
Yeah, good question. So a new application is not needed. All that will be required is a partial Roth conversion form. It's a pretty simplistic form that can be completed and then sent back to Athene. Really, it's not a huge pain point to be able to process this through. What we've tried to do is simplify the process to make it easy on you guys, to make it a more simplistic, streamlined process. And I think we've done a very good job, and we're seeing the fruits of our labor and being able to provide that form. So it's just a one-page form. Send it back into us, and then we'll create that child policy, send out information to you as the advisor as well as the client.
Perfect. So again, just reiterating how easy it is to do these. I mean, and with the minimum of a conversion being as little as 2,000, I mean, you guys, agents, I mean, you have a policy client, each year can decide the percentage of the policy they want to convert or a dollar amount. So it's really a simple process as far as converting these. And, like they mentioned, we're at all-time low as far as tax for what we're going to be seeing. And so between now and the next few years is the best time to be doing these conversions across I mean, I've heard from several clients, heard from agents that this conversation's coming up all the time. So really excited that we can do that with the Athene product as well. Other than that, I mean, some of the other questions I'll shoot over to you guys, Grant, for you guys to follow up as far as a little more questions on Athene and some of the history, some things you find when you Google Athene. So I'll shoot those over and you can follow up with those agents individually. What I will tell everyone on the line today, I'm going to throw up a quick question. If you are looking to get appointed with Athene, sell not just Agility, but in general, their whole product line, go ahead and answer that question, yes. But following the webinar, I will follow up with those who attended today. And you'll also probably be hearing from either Grant or Skylar as well. But then you will also receive an email from Haley Henderson in my office, my assistant. She will be sending each of you out the FAQs, the form, the partial conversion form, so you can see that, as well as information on the Agility product that we covered. Like I said, this product is used for everything. I use it for, free withdrawals going to life insurance. I use it for, those who are looking for death benefit income. Like he said, I tell everyone, it's the Swiss Army knife. You got accumulation, potential income, and death benefit all for no cost. That's a strong story out in the field right now. And so we're excited to be partnered with Athene. So if you did answer yes to that, Haley will also include contracting paperwork. If you're already in our contracting database, when I call you, just let me know you'd like me to process it, and I'll get that sent over to you for approval insurance pay. One other person mentioned, I think you had an example up there of a Roth conversion using an illustration. Would some of these slides be available if agents were wanting a copy of them?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're waiting so we will send that over to you as well. And I'll follow up with you, Laura, after this with the facts, answers, and questions on Athene's Roth conversion procedures. Another example of a strategy with partial Roth and the slide deck. So we'll get that right over to you for you to send out.
And someone else did just ask, does the conversion count as a rollover since only one is allowed each year? It's an internal thing that's handled internally. And as far as 1 in 12 months, that's if you're doing an indirect rollover where the money is going to a client and then going to a carrier. But as far as direct rollovers and what we're doing here, that's not applicable here for whoever asked that question. But with that, I think we're going to close it up. I appreciate everyone taking time. Like I said, myself and Skylar or Grant will be following up with all of you guys to answer any additional questions, work through some case design with you. So we do really appreciate taking time out of your day. Grant, Skylar, same to you. Appreciate you joining us today. And with that, I hope everyone has a great Thursday.
Thanks so much, you guys. Have a great weekend coming up. And Laura, thank you for the time.
My pleasure.